Breaking: they just banned Trump. A London borough which has the highest percentage of religion of peace following immigrants in Great Britain has now voted to ban the United States President Donald J. Trump in their area. The reason they gave was that he a racist and a bigot. The Trump ban, which was proposed by Councillor Ohad Ahmed and Councillor Olia Rahman, passed with a strong majority vote this week, and it calls for President Trump's planned state visit to the United Kingdom to be cancelled. It goes on to stipulate that if the British government does still choose to go ahead with the state visit, President Trump is not welcomed in that particular Muslim borough. This Muslim area in East London includes the famous Tower Bridge and Canary Wharf, but the ban does not appear to be enforceable or even legal. The current far left-wing Labour mayor, John Biggs, publicly stated that President Donald Trump does and applaud diversity, nor does he respect the culture of others and does and respect women. He also added that Trump is failing in his leadership and that Great Britain should not welcome him. But perhaps the most unbelievable statement this hack made is when he said, "We must be vigorous in our intolerance of his intolerance." Hey, Biggs and all the rest of you women and gay-hating Islamists in Great Britain, President Trump didn't attack your people by mowing them down with trucks on the London Bridge. He didn't throw acid on any of your citizens, and he didn't gang rape any of your women. But guess what? The tolerant Muslims you have welcomed into your country have. They have turned a once great nation into a cesspool of pestilence and crime. But instead of attacking the people who are really causing the problem in your nation, you attack our president, whose only mission is to keep the United States of America from becoming the same Islamic-infested cesspool your nation has turned into. List of terrorist attacks in Great Britain. 2005, 7 July, 7/7 Central London bombings conducted by 4 separate Islamist extremist suicide bombers, which targeted civilians using the public transport system during the morning rush hour. 3 bombs were detonated on 3 separate trains on the London Underground and 1 on a double-decker bus. As well as the suicide bombers, 52 other people were killed and around 700 more were injured. It was the UK's worst terrorist incident since the 1988 Lockerbie bombing and the first Islamist suicide attack in the country. 2007, January-February, Miles Cooper letter bomb campaign. Miles Cooper said he was motivated by anti-authoritarianism and opposition to surveillance. 43. 2007, 30 June. Glasgow International Airport attack perpetrated by Islamist extremists. 5 people were injured and the only death was of one of the perpetrators, who later died in hospital from his injuries. 2008, 22 May, Exeter attempted bombing in a cafe toilet by an Islamist extremist, injuring only the perpetrator. 2013, 29 April to 12 July, Pavlo Lapshin attacks. Lapshin, a Ukrainian student and right-wing extremist, stabbed Mohammed Salim, a Birmingham resident, to death on 29 April. He later admitted to police that he wished to start a race war. 44. Lapshin later detonated a homemade bomb outside a mosque in Walsall on 21 June. 150 homes were evacuated but no person was injured. 45. On 28 June Lapshin detonated a second homemade bomb near a mosque in Wolverhampton, and attacked a mosque in Tipton with an improvised explosive device containing nails on 12 July. Friday prayers were delayed that day, and so his intended victims were still inside. Lapshin was later sentenced to serve a minimum of 40 years. 46, 47, 48. 2013, 22 May, a British soldier, Lee Rigby, was murdered and decapitated in an attack in Woolwich by Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale, 2 Islamist extremists armed with a handgun and a number of bladed implements including a cleaver. Both men were sentenced to life imprisonment, with Adebolajo given a whole life order and Adebowale ordered to serve at least 45 years. 49. 2015, 5 December, a man with a knife attacked 3 people at Leytonstone Tube Station in East London. The attacker was 29-year-old Muhaydin Meir, who was shouting "This is for Syria." The attacker was found guilty of attempted murder in June 2016. 3 people were injured in the attack and 1 was seriously injured. 50. 2016, 16 June, murder of Joe Cox. Thomas Mair, a 52-year-old white nationalist, shot and stabbed the MP Joe Cox outside a surgery in Birstall, West Yorkshire, and severely wounded a passerby who came to her aid. Mair shouted "This is for Britain, keep Britain independent," and put Britain first as he attacked Cox. Although he had links to far-right groups, he acted alone. The attack was treated as an act of terrorism. 51, and in sentencing Mair, the judge said there is no doubt that this murder was done for the purpose of advancing a political, racial and ideological cause, namely that of violent white supremacism and exclusive nationalism most associated with Nazism and its modern forms. 52. 2017, 22 March, 2017 Westminster attack. Khalid Masood, a 52-year-old British man, born in Kent as Adrian Elms, drove a car into pedestrians on Westminster Bridge, before crashing the vehicle into the Palace of Westminster perimeter. He then entered the grounds of the Palace of Westminster, the meeting place of the Houses of Parliament, before being confronted by a police officer. Masood then fatally wounded the officer, which led to him being shot by armed police officers protecting the palace. 4 other people were killed in the attack, and 49 other people were injured. The attack was treated as an act of terrorism motivated by Islamic extremism. 53, 54, 55, 56. 2017, 22 May, 2017 Manchester Arena bombing. A large explosion caused by Salman Abedi, a British suicide attacker of Libyan descent, with a bomb at the Manchester Arena, Manchester, killing 22 individuals and injuring 250 at the end of an Ariana Grande concert. This was the worst terrorist attack in Britain since the 7/7 London bombings in 2005. Many of the 22 victims were children or teenagers, the youngest being an 8-year-old girl. 57, 58. 2017, 3 June, June 2017 London attack. Less than 2 weeks after the Manchester Arena bombing, a second terrorist attack occurred on British soil, this time in London. A total of 8 people were killed and at least 48 injured, some critically. A white van drove at high speed across London Bridge, running into groups of people, then crashed. The occupants then ran to nearby Borough Market, where they stabbed more people. 59, 60, 61. All 3 of the terrorists responsible were shot dead by police 8 minutes after the incident was reported. All 3 were wearing imitation suicide bomb vests. 2017, 19 June, Finsbury Park attack. Darren Osborne, a 47-year-old British man, drove a vehicle into Muslim worshippers close to a mosque in Finsbury Park, London. 2017, 15 September, a London tube train was targeted. Witnesses reported a flash and bang. 62, 30 people were injured, mostly with flash burns and crush injuries, but there were no fatalities. The threat level was raised to its highest point of critical soon after. Please share if you agree we the people should boycott Great Britain.